Good day, viewers, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk Show. As of recently, it has been reported that many large tech companies are laying off employees throughout this year, 2022. Today, we'll talk about why this is happening and how many companies are doing it, including large tech firms like Intel, Microsoft, Meta, formerly known as Facebook, Twitter, and others. We are delighted once again to have you on board with us once more for today, Mr. Sasad Khan, CEO of Silicon Valley Global PH Inc. And without further ado, let us begin.
Okay, so we have very important topic today to discuss, what is the today's very trending news all over the world and everywhere. We're having a lot of issues, a lot of inflations are going on, and at the same time, a lot of tech companies are laying off many of their staffs. So before we talk about the tech companies are laying off their staffs, is why the tech companies are laying off their staffs. What do you think, Alip, that the tech company, why they're laying off all these staffs when the pandemic is over?
First point is that they are cutting back on spending and costs because of the rising inflation. Secondly, and the main reason is because many technological advancements, so they are being automated and implemented to reduce the human need or human labor for jobs.
So you are saying if we are having artificial intelligence, even we are having the machine learning, and if we are having other technological advancements like automations, you are saying that then many people will lose their jobs?
Yeah, most of many.
So many people will lose jobs. So I think you are right in some cases, but the problem is not only the reason why we are looking at why people are laying off the jobs, but we are not looking back the same companies like Intel, like Microsoft, like Apple, like other companies like Meta or Facebook. They hire people during the time we got a crazy pandemic time and COVID-19 was there. So during the time that the tech industry really grew fast and because of their the demand, the contact lens, the approach of the whole world, the government and everybody else. So we got a lot of issues those times, but everybody else was not doing nothing, but only the tech companies was like boosting, like big time boosting. So I think that is one of the reasons. People are not only thinking back, people are only talking about what is today. People are not thinking about what is tomorrow, what was yesterday. Yesterday was we hired or like tech companies like Meta and other people hired a lot of people to give supports. Okay, so we sometimes we talk about like we hire people, why we fired them. When we fired them, there is always questions, but when we hire them, there is no questions. So during the time we did not do the research properly, or the people who talk about these things, they did not talk about during the time of COVID-19 how many employees was hired by Meta, how many employees was hired by Microsoft, how many employees was hired by Google, how many employees was hired by Intel, how many employees was hired by other companies like Salesforce and some other big tech companies. So we have to look at those companies who aggressively hired during the time of the pandemic and during the time of when they needed the employees. And today, when we are living in a new world, new normal after the COVID, we cannot say COVID is gone, but we can call ourselves as a new normal, meaning what we are today, it is not 2019, it is today 2022, COVID there, and we have to still live on and we have to move on. So that's what we call the new world and new normal. So those tech companies who hired all these people last 2-3 years or during the time of the pandemic, of course the new normal came in. Here is the normal things, because we can say during the COVID time it was like an abnormal behavior, abnormal world. So we hired a lot of people during the time, and now we are firing them. So we have many questions. So what do you think? What do you think? Why all these companies are firing employees? Again, what is other things that you think about that why these companies are getting away all these stuffs? How about Adit? You have any ideas? Why people are firing their employees?
You only have the right amount of.
Yes, so that's a very good answer. Basically, we need to have, it's like when you are cooking something, right? So when you are cooking something, you need to have a right amount of flavor, right amount of things to be put. If you put too spicy, it's not going to be good for many people. So the time, again, we said we had a crazy times. During the crazy times, people do crazy things, meaning without thinking, without having a lot of research, a lot of R&D. All these big companies like Meta and other people, they hire a bunch of people, lot of people. Right now we are in new normal, so we are not blaming all those tech companies who are laying off all these jobs right now, because there was a temporary needed for these employees, and today we don't need them anymore because of new normal is there. People are going out of their houses. People are going, like for example, that we discussed this afternoon that we have your schools. Initially you were there for online class only, right? So you were enrolled as full-time online, meaning next 1 year all online, you will not go to school. But the Department of Education, they're slowly shifting into face-to-face. So in that way, you are using a certain software for your online class, which is
Brightspace,
right? So you are using Brightspace, for example. Now Brightspace, let's say in Philippines, how many universities, how many colleges, how many schools are using Brightspace? Maybe 20-30% of the schools, right? So let's say we're using 20%, which is before COVID, we never used Brightspace. You never maybe know the name of the online learning platform, right? The what do they call it? It's LMS, right? So it doesn't. We don't think about LMS. We did not think about the fast internet. We did not think about the teachers is going to have their gadgets, buying their laptops, like buying their iPad and all the iPod and all those things. So those things were like crazy times. So during those times, software and hardware companies together, they have a lot of orders. Okay, so I remember during the pandemic time, we bought a lot of gadgets. Even we are having hard time, but we bought a lot of gadgets because the school needs it. We are in contactless. We needed all those to work together to study for your online classes. In the past, we have desktop in the house, but we have to go for desktop and laptop and some other environments together for us to move forward. So the wall get broken during the time of the COVID. Okay, the supply chain get broken because of one example is many countries like Philippines. We do not produce COVID medicines or we import. We live our life with a lot of importations. We import rice, we import onion, we import garlic, we import fruits, we import a lot of things. So the main ingredients in our life, like rice, like the flour, like the other things, we import all. So when the COVID hit, many countries stopped exporting.
Independent.
So we got a problem because it become like Web 3. It become a decentralized world. Whereas during the time before COVID, the world supply chain was so centralized, nicely planted. 100 years it was designed properly. But when COVID hit, one country cannot import this, one country will not export that because that country they have their own problem. They need their supply chain to be intact. So some countries will not export, for example, diesel. Because they want to for the power of their countries. So we get problem because we are importing diesel. Philippines import diesel, Philippines import onion, Philippines import rice. So of course, I think one way to solve all those things is, again, every time I talk the same thing, is we have to start from the atom level. We have to start from basic. We have to go for healthy lifestyle. We have to go for back to basics. So anyway, these tech companies hire a lot of people. We go back to our example that your school software, which is Brightspace, and this school software was many people in many universities, schools, the colleges was using it. Now slowly they will not use this Brightspace. So all of a sudden in the Philippines, like Brightspace hire 500 people. to go to the universities to give the service. But again, now we are in the new normal. We are having a face-to-face class. So we do not need Bright Space anymore. So when Bright Space will lose the subscription from your school, what they're going to do? They're going to take out employees.
Yeah.
So for example, that's what happened. So during the time of COVID again, it was contactless. People cannot go out. So people rely on lot of virtual things. One of the virtual things is advertisement. So Meta nearly lost 80% of their company share in last like couple of months because they lose lot of advertisement because people are now going face to face. They're meeting people. They're not relying on virtual advertisement anymore. So virtual advertisement for Google, for Microsoft, for other companies who are relying on their life, on their business into advertisement is gone, or maybe was deducted or was significantly reduced, right? So that's basically what happened. So I'll go back to that one. Is what are the companies and how many employees or how many percent of their company share fall down, or how many employees was taking away from their job?
So Meta, formerly known as Facebook, lost about 11,000 employees or 13% of its staff. Intel lost 20%, Robinhood 23%, Snapchat 20%, Coinbase 18%, Lyft 13%, Microsoft nearly 1,000 employees.
So a lot of employees lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of problems here. One of the problem is the inflation. Another problem was COVID-19. The other problem is right now there are war going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah.
So the economy of a country cannot live without energy. Energy is like the main ingredients of an economy of a country. So when we don't have energy or energy power increases, every single other things connected to the energy increases. So example, diesel. Diesel is energy. So it's connected to a lot of things, vehicles, power plants, and a lot of things. So when the diesel price increased, then we have problem. So the price of water, price of coke, price of everything rise and everything increases. So what happened is 2019 to 2022, everything in the world, the price become double, but our income did not become doubles. Okay, companies' income did not become doubles, or the salary of the people, government is cannot fix that because of inflation. We call it inflation. So government has a lot of issues. So having all these things said, do you think only inflation is the only reason why these people was fired, or the tech company has other problems? Because as a regular company, other companies who are like software, when you talk about technology, again, is part of software and hardware.
Yeah.
But there are companies like example, real estate companies. Like in the Philippines, we have SM, we have other real estate, Robinson and other real estate companies. I don't see them hiring people. So why do you think that only tech companies get hardly hit in this recent employee layoff Intensifies?
Yeah. Okay. So
What do you think? Okay. Ali,
So as said, because of the pandemic, technology was demanded and many technical people was needed. So they keep on hiring people that time. So that's why many fired right now because the demand is getting lower.
Okay. Do you think that's the only reason?
Another reason I think is because they're not well structures and the R&D was not really foreseen.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay. I think there are a couple of things we look deeply. I am a technical guy and I really research and I try to see I try to see through what is really the issues. I think the laying of the staffs of these companies are not the reason is not only the inflation. So the reason is not because we're living on new normals. I think a lot of companies employees was hired. I understand, but sometimes we lose focus on when we are hiring people. We do not look at the ways that our company has to be structured, or our company employee section will be structured. So we did not look at many other aspects. One of the aspects, like for example, everybody was anticipating that the chips said, or the chip market, like the hardware market, will be going like crazy until 2025. That was the thing that they were thinking, and they are also thinking that the materials or the materials companies was thinking that they can have this supply chain going on until 25, and it did not happen, because during the time there was a demand, and during the time there was there was a the time of the COVID and everything, that everything hardware and software demand really inflated, really got increased and boosted, and everybody was jumping on hiring more people, putting up more technologies, and putting up more factories to develop. So they did not have the forecast of their things properly. So they did not have proper research and development for their staff hiring. So those things are also part of it. And at the same time, that there are companies, there are even big companies in the world. Sometimes they take advantage of they call it venture capital, they call it the share market. So they really inflate them virtually, or not, what you call this, artificially, you can say. So like for example, maybe the problem with the technological companies, for example, is not tangible, meaning you cannot hold it, you cannot properly define what can be the values of that technology company. See one technology company yesterday, let's say a value was like $20 billion, but it can be in 1 month or 7 days, it can be like $2 billion. You see, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Unlike if you're talking about a real estate, if you're talking about a properties, if you're talking about other tangible, right, a milk companies, or companies that produce, manufacture clothing, and any other sectors who really have built up from the manufacturing plant, the steel plant, the cable plant, or whatever other plantation or other general companies that you can see in the world, their inflation are not that big. Meaning you cannot just have a real estate price drop in 7 days 50%. Cannot be done. So that's one of the reasons. So many technical people, or many people who understand technologies, sometimes they rip off the technologies, meaning they're trying to inflate themselves. They're trying to, many people will not understand. So they will inflate their valuations for their commissions and some other, lot of other conflicts and complications is there. So they inflate their valuations. Then all of a sudden, it goes decrease very, very fast. So that's basically one of the reasons why the tech companies, or hardware, especially software, because hardware at least you can define, but software is very, very hard to define. Is how much is the value of a certain software? It's very hard to define. So that's basically one of the reasons why these tech companies, some of the tech companies take advantage of this situation. People don't understand. They said, hey, the share market will grow for these technological companies next week at double. For example, what you see on the cryptocurrency, you see, right? Like Bitcoin years ago, when long time ago I supposed to buy Bitcoin, and it was like $7, and then later on it increases. It skyrocketed. It becomes, somebody bought a couple of $1 billion of Bitcoin, and then somebody tweeted in the they tweeted in the Twitter that the Bitcoin will be $100,000. So people go jump and they start buying them, and it increased from $20,000 in like less than a month. It becomes $64,000. So of course, if I am I want to take advantage of everything. So if I am the one who knows, or I am the influencer, and I let people to decide wrong decisions by for me, because I bought, let's say I bought $2 billion of Bitcoin. Then now I'm saying, okay, when I bought it $20,000, when it becomes $60,000, I sell it.
Yeah.
So 20,000, 60,000. I make my money triple in just 7 days. So that's where the problems is happening. You see the FTX guy, we see the news that he was almost, I think, 16 billion or like 2 days ago. And yesterday,
90% down.
94% of his wealth was wiped off. Now he's considering to bankrupt the company. So you can imagine that, only virtual things can be, in one day is zero, one day it become billions of dollars. Billions of dollars in one day can be zero again. But in real world, it doesn't happen. So we are living in real world and virtual world. And many people are taking advantage of those virtual world. So again, what we talk about is laying off all these employees, and of course it's very saddening for us. And like Twitter, they I think what happened to Twitter?
They cut it about 3,700 employees.
So they wanted to cut the 3,700 employees, and I believe that what I read the news is Twitter was losing like $3 million a day. So when Elon Musk take over the Twitter, and of course they're doing a lot of it's a company ownership changes. So it's given when a new owner take over the company, of course he will look for his own people to bring in, and he's going to look for restructuring that company. It's very common that 75% of the staff is firing because of Elon Musk has a couple of companies. One of them is Tesla,
SpaceX.
For car. He has a company where he develops softwares for his EV, electric vehicle, which is Tesla, right? So for Tesla, he has a pool of programmers. He has a IT department. Also, Elon Musk has a supercomputer. He invested on the supercomputer for this to have this AI, the machine learning to understand these things, so that the automation of their software can be more sophisticated or more accurate. So he has those employees. He has those IT companies. Definitely, when you have an IT company, you buy another IT company, it becomes redundant.
Yeah, sure.
So certain tasks become redundant. That's why he is planning to fire or lay off about 75% of the staffs, rather than Meta only 30% of them they reduce, right? So there are other companies like Intel, like Google and Snapchat, Coinbase. Like Coinbase is one of the company. Let's say Intel. Intel is basically one of the company who do mainly hardware. So hardware, because of the inflation, hardware orders or hardware orders goes down. So it's very common that they will have this layoff. Robinhood, Snapchat, Coinbase, for example. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency, what do you call this, exchange. So of course the cryptocurrency really fall. Okay, this is very sad, and that I saw today that the Bitcoin become $16,000. It was like $20,000 2 days ago. So that's basically what happened. And again, like Lyft, I think same thing happened during the time of the Lyft. Is basically it's like Uber, like yeah. it's like a ride-hailing software company. So I think during the time of the COVID, they had a lot of people, and maybe it's new normal again, and they have to fire. One of the company that has a lot of issues also with that is Uber. It's not here in our list right now, but it's Uber. Uber lay off a lot of people. But another companies in Asia. Let's talk about in Asia right now. These are all we talk about America and American companies. In Asia, last let's say 1 month or let's say 2 months, there was a layoff. Let's say in the Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore. What are the big company in Asia? One of them is the C. Okay, C is the one who own one of the gaming company. I forget the name, but they own our very favorite Shopee. Okay, Shopee lay off a lot of stuff in the Philippines. Okay, they are even the Singapore. I read one news is one of the guy of Shopee. He was flying he go vacation from Singapore to China. Then when he fly, he was on the flight going from Malaysia to That time he get a mail
Right.
that he's fired. He was on the way going back to the office from the vacation. So Shopify fired a lot of people. And one other company that we talk about today, no, of course Lazada is owned by Alibaba. They are well structured. So one of the other company we talk about is Grab.
Grab.
Okay, Grab is one of the company in Southeast Asia was inflated too much that even during the time of the COVID or during the time where is all other ride hailing or software companies make double their money, triple their money, but Grab did not make money. So anyway, so that's basically what we call a artificial inflation, meaning one companies will invest, set a valuation that okay, I invest at $1 million valuations today. Then tomorrow, without having the company income, there is Series B, another company comes in and he invests again and he said, okay, I'll invest $5 million at 20 million valuation. Now, there is no income again. So that balance is not there in the investment sectors of, let's say, one of the problem with the venture capital. Okay, of course we are going to have a lot of companies and we're looking for venture capital. But one of the problems that I see on the venture capital is they are not looking like a bank. Bank is very well structured. They give a loan, they give investment, they put into investment into different things. But bank really have a format followed by central bank, so bank has to justify things to the central bank. Bank has to really look at the background of the people that giving the loan. But when you talk about private loan, venture capital, sometimes they look for their income and they overlook those things. They do not look at those things as you know. So as you guys are tech guys, and what do you think about this tech freeze and hiring of these tech companies?
Of course, like we are a little bit nervous since many people wants to pursue programming. What would they do if there is this layoff happening in the big tech firms?
Yeah, I think you know, I was watching Alibaba show today, you know, with Elon Musk and
Jack Ma,
Jack Ma.
The
You know, I am a kind of guy who really is into the reality rather than a dream. So I really admire Jack Ma, his ways of doing things, his ways of you know, talking in talk shows and giving advice. It's really very cool. I mean, being a guy who is nobody before, who has nothing, he tried to join KFC for 20 times. He gave interviews. He was not hired. Then he was owning one of the largest company in Asia, which is Alibaba. He was make his fortune from. That's why he called himself a smart. He's a street smart, meaning, you know, from experience. He does things from experience. He every day he do things. You know, but this guy, his way of doing things is humanity. How to improve the situation, how to improve the world to develop. And like Elon Musk, he's dreaming going to the Mars. Yeah. So I agree with Jack Ma by saying that we need to fix the problem of the earth first. We have a lot of problem in the earth. We have to fix automations. We have to fix our irrigations. We have to fix our agriculture. We have to fix our educations. We have to fix our energy problems. We have to fix the war. We have to fix everything. So being said that, we will need to fix what is our current problem. So our current problem is the companies are firing people, right? So that's I do not see any issues having more programmers in the future. As Jack Ma says, that the job will be created. More jobs will be created. Even you said there is artificial intelligence, there is machine learning, there is deep learning. There are neurology. Neuralink is one of the company of Elon Musk, but there is a technology that is coming up for your neuro technologies are there. So even the semiconductor company today, is there, but these companies are not going to sustain forever, because there is always technological breakthrough.
Yeah.
There is always new technology coming. Like right now we are into semiconductor. So there is the thing that I will be discussing on few other, maybe next episode, is one of the things, like this semiconductor itself has things that need to be adjusted, need to be innovated, like the photonic semiconductor. The new things is coming, more speed, more things. But when the photonic semiconductor is gonna come very soon, and this will be like more faster than today's semiconductor configurations. But the problem is, I think the next is quantum computer is coming.
Yeah.
So quantum computer is terribly fast. Is fast from our current chip right now. So like Google and other people are, like especially IBM, I admire them as one of the blue chip company in the world, and we are very well structured since 1980s. There's the one company that you can get your R&D. There's the one company you can get your technological advancements. Very well structured is basically IBM. So you see, IBM is advancing on many things. IBM is the first one who make the most advanced chip, we can say, like 2 nanometer chip. 1 nanometer is IBM, who is basically the first one who have this R&D and develop them in their lab. It's not yet outside in the world, but in their lab they're the most advanced one. So IBM really did lot of innovations in the whole world, basically last 40-50 years of innovations, and they're the most well structured company. So this technology, like the quantum computer, this quantum computer is going to be the next technology. So quantum computer, they're saying that a algorithm or a machine learning or an algorithm which is a regular classic computer, what we call classic computer, is today's computer. So today's computer is made of 1 and 0.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is quantum computer?
Quantum computer is like you can switch between 1 and 0 or in between.
So the classic computer today are made of what we call is
Binary.
Binary is 0 and 1, right? So you have
On and off.
0 and off. So it's like 0 is off and on is 1. Okay. So the quantum computer, the advantage of quantum computer is it can be 0,
It can be 1.
it can be 1, but one more thing is there. That's what you call them. They call it superpositions. It can be 0
and 1 together.
and together. They call it superpositions. So when it is superposition, they can be 0 and 1 at the same time. That's where it excels. That's why it can be like 10,000 times faster a classic computer. So a day work of 10,000 years of work in a classic computer can be calculated by 1 second or 1 minute or whatever. So you can see the how speed. So if the quantum computer, they said there's the quantum physics is basically one of the things that breakthrough. Even this year the Nobel Prize winner was from the quantum computer advancement. So they call it entanglement. So on the quantum computer is the one with the next big thing coming up. And according to the scientists and the world, is they're thinking that the secret of the world is the quantum computer, meaning the whole universe is somehow is a quantum physics or connected to the quantum state, okay, of the matter. They call it, there's matter, there is, of course it's long to discuss about. It's very broad about the science and physics and all those things. But I believe it's not it. Quantum computer is not the end of the technology. What the scientists believe then the next thing is what is the next technology is, I believe, is what God gave it to us, a sense, a feeling. Because you see, what we have right now, we call it robot. And why you call it robot? Because it has no emotion, no feelings, right? You have heart. Sometimes you feel joy, you are happy. Sometimes you are angry, right? Sometimes you want to cry. So those things are, I mean God developed us that way. So God made us that way. So I believe the quantum computer, yes, there are news I hear from Google that they're saying that the new generations AI is having a consciousness, right? So that consciousness is not enough, basically. So we'll tackle those in maybe some other episode. Some other episode in the future. So what do you think about the tech layoff, and what do you think that people should do?
Yeah, any idea?
No.
How about Atif? What happening? Because my mom used to say that I should be engineer, maybe another son will be working for other department, because according to her, if there is no job in the IT, we'll go hungry. Because only his son only knows IT and technology. So anyway, so what do you think, Alip, is what is your advice for your next somebody who want to go apply for a tech job?
I think you should not be nervous, since there will be maybe many future jobs in the technical stuff, and yeah, that's more.
I think we're evolving. Our life is based on the technological advancements. We cannot stop that anymore. And I think technology. I do not think there is a shortage of jobs. And I do not believe that it has to be. If you are experienced, if you understand things, and if you are a geek or you are expert on the technology, I think that the technological jobs are more coming rather than this. I believe this layoff is just like it's a short living, because of the adjustment. I believe that everything is maybe in few months, few years, everything is going to adjust ourselves, and more and more technological jobs will be there. Maybe there might be we might call it idiot proof. There might be easy work might go out of job. Like for example, we might create a robot to do all our technical support, whatever question and answer you put, like what Siri was created is like, right? So you can talk to Siri. So there might be a support system that can handle we can call it the level 1 and level 2, meaning you can do a basic, like when you're going to say hi, it might reply you hello, right? So something like that. So those things is of course part of your conversations when you have messaging, right? When you talk to somebody in messaging, you say hi, right? Then there is a hello. Then you ask a question, it answer. It asks you a question, it answer. Then when it cannot answer anymore, can I transfer you to our technical team or our support team for you to have better? So meaning there is need of the human being. There is a need for us to be there. But yes, maybe the layman job, small jobs, the jobs that is not requiring so much expertise necessary, that can be replaced by the computer. So the computer can never replace a human being, because human being are the one who develop the computer, right? So we don't have to worry about us losing our job anymore. Okay, so anyway, we talk a lot of things, and then we talk about we'll finish today's episode by having the conclusion from Ali.
So that concludes our episode today about tech industry layoff. And once again, thank you very much, Mr. Sajid Khan, for on board for today's episode.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all the viewers. Thank you very much for watching us.
Hello world! Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for our future videos.
And if you have any further questions, please comment down below.
That concludes for today's video, and this is Tech Talk Show.